Okay, I'd like you to listen to this. So he basically says that nothing is unstable, and empty space is nothing, and empty space is unstable. Listen to what he says.
Celebrating. And one of the examples of that, and there's a number, but maybe some of them are too much for us to talk about tonight, is this remarkable fact that nothing is unstable, that empty space is unstable. The laws of quantum mechanics, combined with gravity, will tell you that if you have empty space there, and you wait long enough, particles will be created. And if you wait long enough, empty space will always produce a universe full of matter. And it's not a scam. There's no violation of energy conservation. It's from the fact that gravity can have negative energy as well as positive energy. And so nothing is unstable. And in fact, that's the first answer to why there's something rather than nothing, is that nothing's unstable. The big surprise would be if there was nothing. Not that there's something. Now, the problem, of course, of saying that is people say, that's not nothing. That's not, and it's an interesting problem, because when I've discussed this with theologians and philosophers, some of them, and you ask, what's nothing? And my argument is that these are scientific questions, not philosophical or theological ones. And I think the nothing that Aristotle would have had, or St. Thomas Aquinas, or any of the people who first asked why is there something rather than nothing, that nothing would have been an eternal empty void, namely empty space. But once I argue that empty space can create something, then immediately I'm told that's not nothing.
Yeah.
And then I show that space itself can be created from nothing, and then I'm told that's not nothing. And then I say, well, because there are still laws of physics. And then I argue that, in fact, the laws of physics, for the reasons we've discussed, the anthropic principle, there may be many universes, and it's quite likely that even the laws of physics themselves arose by accident when the universe was created. So even the laws aren't there. And I'm told that's not nothing. And the definition of theologians, I think, for nothing is that from which only God can create something. And I find that sort of content-free. Although I think I say in the book that maybe I'm not fit to talk about nothing, because theologians and philosophers are experts in nothing.
So I agree with him there. I think empty space, is nothing. nothing in it. So yeah, basically empty space, along with quantum mechanics and gravity, causes mass and something and everything. So space and the universe should be creating matter all the time. I'm not sure if it does, but apparently it should. Okay, next part. This is where he debunks bendy space-time and mass attracting mass. Basically, he debunks gravity for bendy space-time and mass attracting mass.
In January this year,
Sorry about that.
I did ayahuasca with a shaman from Colombia.
And to create, and the conservation of energy, you would think, and this is one of the arguments often used, conservation of energy means you can't start with nothing and have a universe with something. But what is amazing is when you add gravity into the mix, a miracle occurs.
I'd like to point out, he just says when you add gravity into the mix, a miracle occurs. So there's nothing, he's talking about nothing, and yet he's adding gravity into the mix. And yet gravity is either mass attracting mass, or the bending of space-time by mass. So there has to be mass in either way, shape or form. And yet he's talking about there being nothing, and then you adding gravity into the mix to create something without any mass whatsoever. So yeah.
Natural miracle. That gravity allows negative energy as well as positive energy configurations. And you can create, for example, two particles out of nothing. Now, they have energy because of their rest mass. But if the gravitational field they're in is strong enough, the gravitational potential energy attracting them together is so strong and negative that the sum total of those two bits of energy can be precisely zero. And you can create those particles with impunity. And in fact, that happens, we think, near black holes. And in fact, it will happen in empty space. And so, in fact, to create stuff, you don't need stuff. You just need nothing. And in this case, quantum mechanics.
And gravity to cause the miracle. So, yeah, gravity is nothing apparently. You don't even need mass for it anymore. Cool.